Well, hello everyone. I'm Jill Bloom, group publisher of Roofing Contractor, Walls and Ceilings, and Building Enclosure. And I am so excited for everybody who's either listening or watching, because I am here today with a really good friend of mine that I've known for many, many years, too many that I don't want to say, but RJ Lowry he's actually the regional sales manager with Revlocal, and is somebody who has also presented at Best of Success a couple of times in the past and had some great feedback from our contractors. So I thought it was time to pick back up with RJ because there's so much to talk about. But first of all, RJ, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, Jill, thanks so much. This is a great organization. And I know anytime I've interacted with folks that are associated with you in any way, I know it's going to be a sharp group. And so it's my honor to get a chance to share with you guys.
Well, here we go. Let's dive in because, first of all, Revlocal, you guys are experts in digital marketing that services contractors and as well as architects. But the topic that I want to talk to you about today that I think is really important, that's going to help everybody listening, is online reviews. But you call it review marketing. So I think you need to first, let's start with there. But first of all, I guess, wait, hold on a minute. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got involved with Revlocal, and then we'll move on to review marketing.
Yeah, cool. So I've actually been associated with Revlocal about 10 years now. So Revlocal was a little tiny, believe it or not, a dial-up back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then they pivoted when dial-up was fading. So think 2009, 10, somewhere in that range. And also Google made some pretty massive changes, Joe, with their algorithm to showing businesses online. And so with that, the primary owners of the business made a pivot, and I was basically able to get in contact with them. We were in contact with one another during that pivot, and as I was leaving another company after 20 years. And so we've now grown it from a local search marketing company with about 10 employees 10 years ago, maybe a couple hundred clients, to now over 7,000 active clients that we serve and almost 500 employees out of Central Ohio, but we're nationwide.
Yeah, it's really amazing how much you guys have grown. Well, let's dive in. So tell me, let's go back to that question. Why do you say review marketing instead of reputation management? Because everybody, I'm not somebody who reads reviews, but I have friends of mine that live and die by all these online reviews.
Yeah, I think the primary reason in today's world, in our generation, Joe, we think of back in the day, word of mouth and referrals. And there's a lot of commercial folks that are listening right now that like, hey, I've got a reputation 30, 40, 50 years and beyond. So everybody knows who I am. The concern is there's more and more millennials, and then even the next generation that are making decisions now. And so we went from this mindset of reputation management is I get a review, something's being said about me online, I need to take action afterwards, to getting in front of it and preempting. And we truly need to be marketing for reviews of the people that we do know appreciate our business and would be willing to say something nice about us. And so it's we're marketing ourselves for reviews, whether you're a commercial or residential business.
So, really when it boils down to it though, how important is it that you stay on top of those reviews? I guess it's for those people that live and die by.
Yeah, no, I think it's incredibly important, and my opinion probably doesn't matter as much as Google's. and Google says it's very, very important. It's Google's world, and we're living in it. There's 90% of all mobile searches are on Google now. Over 70% of all total searches in the world are on Google, but 90% of the mobile searches are Google, and it plays into Google's algorithm on whether they're going to show a business or not. So direct and categorical searches of your name, they've been referred to your business. They're going to, people are referred to your business, they're going to type in your name, but guess what still pops up as those reviews? So I just got off the phone call with somebody who had an amazing reputation, winning all kinds of awards, happened to be a business here in Central Ohio, but yet they had a 3.6 star rating and only 26 reviews. And they had thousands of customers, been in business for a number of years, and they are known as a 5-star type company. So basically their online reputation wasn't representing, their online presence wasn't representing their offline reputation. So it's very important for both the algorithm and for the prospective customers.
So what would you say to somebody like me who doesn't read reviews very often at all?
Yeah, I would just, if you were the business owner, or if you were the prospective customer?
For both, let's say,
Yeah.
first of all, prospective customer. I mean, what can I learn from reviews?
Well, I just think that the biggest thing is to, in today's world, you want to be found and you want to be chosen. And so if you want to be found by more people, if your business is one that wants to be seen by more, you're looking for new customers. It's not just people through the standard bidding processes of a lot of B2B contractors, as an example. It's also people just wanting to be found under categorical searches, keyword searches. Just know that those reviews are going to, more reviews will get you found by more people. And more reviews will help you get chosen by more people, especially if they're positive. So it pleases the two audiences, both the search engine and the prospective customers. So it's incredibly, incredibly important. Word of mouth and referrals has moved online, and your online presence needs to represent that offline reputation. And I know a lot of your folks have got amazing reputations.
Yes, there's no doubt. There's some sharp people in that are contractors. But what would you say that with all the clients, it's amazing to think you guys have 7,000 clients now, but do you find that more are residential or commercial? And what can you give me, who do you find like has a higher, I guess, engagement in managing leads?
Yeah, I think so. We certainly serve when it comes to the contractors, and I know you've got architects in there as well that could be potentially hearing this. I think at the end of the day, our residential folks are looking for lead generation. So lead generation, I want leads. Well, guess what? Reviews will get you found by more people. Reviews will help you get chosen by more people. Whereas our more commercial folks, it's like, hey, I'm not as much on the aggressive lead generation side, but Jill, all the commercial folks I'm talking to say, I've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80 years of experience. And I just don't feel like I'm being represented properly online. Yes, I get the opportunity to bid, and I'm in on a lot of really big projects, and we've done a ton of big projects. But the fact is a lot of those folks are maybe looking to pass the business to the next generation, and they want to make sure that it's up to par. And so there are things, if you're looking at that transition and you got that younger generation, it's typically the kids, the nephews, whatever the case may be, that they're like, Dad, we got to work on this. Hey, Uncle so-and-so, we got to work on this. So reviews really does help that, to help you get found and help you get chosen more, and just represent that brand properly. Are you a 3.7 with 12 reviews, or are you hundreds of reviews or thousands of reviews with a 4.8, 4.9? And I think a lot of your business owners and contractors that are watching should be represented in the latter.
Got it. Well, yes. Okay. We definitely know that they're important.
Okay.
But where should business owners get those reviews from? And I guess what platforms are the most important? Yeah. Everybody knows Google, but there's what are the platforms that people are putting reviews
Google, on? Google really is the most important. There are times if you're trying to drive somebody for a Google review and maybe they're old fashioned and they don't have a Google account like YouTube that they're signing into, or a Google phone. So they might have to set themselves up a Google account. But most people in today's world that are tech savvy at all do have a Google account. So your number one place I'm always going to strongly recommend is going to be Google. And I know there's folks that use the home advisors and there's other platforms out there. The only thing about it is Google's algorithm, I want to please their algorithm more than I do anybody else's. And so we're always going to say Google first. And then any place that somebody can maybe replicate that review, if it is over on another channel or another platform, I'm fine with that too, but we're always going to say Google first.
Okay. And what if there's a company that has their own proprietary platform? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, and I do see this a lot in the contractor industry, and I guess I see it in other industries as well, but especially where, and I don't want to, say anything negatively against somebody else that's maybe selling digital marketing services, but what does concern me is there are some companies that will drive, they'll drive that small business owner's reviews or good sized business owners' reviews to their proprietary platform, meaning that if they stop doing business with said digital marketing agency, the reviews go away. And I'm not a big fan of that. My viewpoint is at Revlocal, we've grown our business, the way we have over these last 10 years, because we wanted to build a business that the small business owners would want to work with. And we saw that happening. I won't mention names, but there are organizations out there, and I've met some of them at conferences and events and things like that. And that just really bums me out when somebody says, well, I have to stay with this agency because I have 472 reviews. And if I leave, those reviews go away. That scares me. So at Revlocal,
Oh yeah, they're not
we're
serving
trying
the
to,
client.
yeah, we want to drive the review. So if the relationship were to end, it's your collateral. You should have nice, big Google review.
So how do you respond to reviews? Like so if there's a review online and do you have to like claim your Google?
Yeah. And I would say, Jill,
work?
I would say most of the businesses that are probably paying attention right now, listening right now, watching, they probably got their Google My Business listing claimed. That's kind of like step one in digital marketing. Right. But the next step is when they do start getting reviews, I see people fall into a couple different camps. So one camp is they don't respond to anything. So in other words, they claim their Google listing, but they've maybe gotten 20, 30, 50 reviews or whatever. And there's no responses to those reviews. So I always like to tease and say, you'd almost like be the person at that networking event where somebody says, hey, Jill, what you guys do is great. And I really appreciate you. And you just look at them and go, and you don't say anything. Like, who would do that? And then somebody else compliments you. And then you just look at them and you nod and you don't say anything. Like, you don't want to be that guy or that gal. And so what Google will actually help you with their algorithm, that if you're responding and there's even keywords in the responses, that is part of Google's algorithm in terms of ranking. So the first thing is if you've got that, whoever has access to that Google My Business listing, they do have the ability to respond. Google wants it to be a bit of a social platform. And then I see the other people that say, I don't respond to any positive reviews, but I always respond to the negative ones. And then sometimes I see them responding like this. It's like, well, you told me and da, 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 da. So the bottom line is respond to both positive and negative. And if you are going to respond to the negative ones, before you hit submit, it's almost like an email, read it, sleep on it maybe, and make sure that it is representing your brand. And if you get too defensive, make sure you have somebody else that can come in and say the right thing in that response, because a lot of people are snoopy and they'll see a 1-star. And I personally believe that a 1-star is a great opportunity to actually, if you can throw your hand up and say, you know what, we messed up here. That's our fault. Please reach out. I'd like to handle this. But not to get defensive. So 1-stars can actually be a positive, and it shows people that you are legit. You got 37 reviews, almost all of them 4 and 5s. You have 1 or 2 1s. You respond professionally. It actually makes you look even better and legit.
Well, I love it. Well, you said something really important that I want everyone to pay attention to about a minute ago. You said there's keywords in those responses that Google will pick up. What are those keywords? Everyone needs to know what keywords are.
Yeah, it'd be relevant to their industry. So making sure that they're saying something, roofing contractor, thank you for working with our residential roofing company. We appreciate you reviewing our commercial roofing. Anytime you can plug a few things in, you don't want to plug it so hard that it doesn't sound like a person answering. But if you can drop a few of the keywords, depending on whether it's, walls and ceilings keywords, or whether it's architecture keywords, or whether it's roofing keywords.
Got it. So basically your company is like a keyword that would help pull your company name.
Yeah, it could be the company name, but it would be more of like what your company does.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for allowing us to replace your roof on your church or on your, multiplex building or something like. So you're saying back, because sometimes you'll see the cut paste where they just say, thank you for your kind review. Thank you for your kind review.
Oh, right.
And you don't want that either. So you don't want to stuff it with too many keywords. You also don't want to have the cut paste method. Just let it be organic. Yeah, let it be. Yeah, it sounds like a bot or AI. Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Well, something else I think is really important, I want to make sure we spend a minute on is you've always talked about the map.
Mm-hmm.
How does somebody get on the map? Because you've always talked about that is something that doesn't cost you anything. But how do they get on the map?
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to that businesses need to, in today's world, be found and be chosen. And if you think of the consumer's journey, if we know a business's name, we're going to type in there. It's called a category. It's going to be a direct search instead of a categorical search. And if we type in their exact name, we're going to see the websites pop up, but then we're going to see that little blue, and sometimes mobile, depending on what device you're on. You're going to see a rectangle with their business, and it's going to have pictures and keywords, and it's going to have reviews and that sort of thing. But the most important way to get found, if they aren't typing in your exact word, they're typing in keywords, not your exact company name, is you need to do what's called local search engine optimization. So a lot of web design companies and a lot in the contracting industry are still operating under the auspices of, I want to rank your website higher. But what Google's told us, Jill, is if you do a search for, and I'll just say commercial roofer, Columbus, Ohio, let's just use that as my search term.
Sure.
You're going to get ads at the top, the map, and then 3 listings underneath, and then a bunch of websites underneath.
Right.
So a lot of older web design companies are still ranking you in the spot below the maps. But what Google has said is only about 15% of the searchers are actually scrolling past the ads and the maps to go down to websites. So what's really important to be found in today's world is to do actions with your business that are going to get you into that map and listings for basically Google's 3 options that they're recommending, or you can buy your way through doing Google ads. And Google's got some really cool stuff, both with local service ads, that's the ads at the top that are pay per lead. That's Google taking on Home Advisor directly. Google's coming right at Home Advisor on that. And then you've got the map and the local listings, and every click in the maps area is free, Jill. The ones up above, those cost a lot more money. So Google says if you got a lot of money and you're impatient, then do ad campaigns. If you would rather go the slow roll and get a return on your ad spend and be able to get a greater return with a lower click, then focus on the map and the listings. It just takes time. It's just that's a longer play. It's like planting a garden.
Right. Okay, I get it. So what would be the first step someone needs to do if they know they need to do a better job of handling, their review marketing and making it a priority? What do they do?
I mean, I think the first thing you do is just Google yourself, like just type in your business. I remember when I presented it at 3 or 4 years ago, we did a couple different years, but we presented and I just said, hey, pull out your smartphones. How many times does the speaker say, pull your phone out? And I want everybody to do this. And I did. And I had everybody pull out their phone and I just said, just Google yourself. So that's the first thing is, do you like what you see when you Google yourself? So that's the first step, is just see, how are you presenting? A lot of people go, well, let me go to my website. It's like, no, just Google your business name. And does that Google My Business listing represent you properly? Look at the pictures and then come down, as we're talking about, and look at those reviews. Do those reviews represent all the years you've been in business and all the successes? And what I really challenge, especially on the commercial side, when they say, oh, I don't ever pay attention to that, nobody looks at that. Well, my viewpoint is if you're getting word of mouth and referrals, that's great, but would you like some more business? And I know we're all in a boom right now, depending on, if we can get product, et cetera, but we all know this is going to change. And so actions you can take now on the reviews would be, first and foremost, look at those reviews and go in and respond to them, or have somebody respond to them for you. So you might have 20 reviews, none of them been responded to. Go in and respond to them. It doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4 years ago. It's okay. Go ahead and do that. And then secondly, if you've got people that really appreciate your business, say, you know what, we've enjoyed doing business with you. I would love to, our marketing people say, folks like you, if you could say something nice about us, we would appreciate that. And then, so you're marketing for a positive review.
Yes. Well, that is awesome. RJ, thank you so much.
You bet.
And there's so much to talk about this. I'm sure we'll have to have you back on so we can cover a lot more topics.
Cool.
But if anybody has any questions for you, RJ, how do they reach you?
They can reach out, either call me directly, 614-207-7848. They can just call me at my cell, or they can email me at rjlowery@revlocal, and that's revlocal.com.
RJ, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you have any questions for us, you can reach us at roofingcontractor.com, wconline.com, or buildingenclosureonline.com. And while you're there, please make sure you sign up for our free e-newsletters, our free e-magazine. The platform is really cool. Register for the website. That way you can always stay up to date on all the great videos we're putting out. And please stay safe and healthy. We look forward to talking to you next time.
Hey!